Hey everyone, I'm Summer, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about building strong connections, real visibility, and sustainable business growth. This is part of my Teach Me Something playlist where I bring in people, experts who help us rethink the things we do every day in our business, sometimes in our lives, and do them better. And today's topic is one that everyone talks about, but very few people actually get it right: networking. Networking that leads to opportunities and partnerships and long-term growth. My guest today is Sue Coleman, founder of Empowered Networking. I love Sue because she makes professionals rethink moving away from contacts, moving away from this to towards building genuine and strategic relationships. She has decades of experience in business and networking communities. She's known for making networking feel like very natural, meaningful, and not transactional. One lesson I've already learned from Sue is that when you show up with intention and clarity and consistency, your network begins to grow with you, begins to work with you. And that's when you create real opportunities. So let's be honest, most people go to a bajillion Zoom events, right, Sue? Right, Sue?
Yep.
And they
Yep.
think they're networking. But really, are they? They're showing up and hoping that something might happen. From your perspective, Sue, what's the biggest mistake that people are making when it comes to networking? And what should they do instead?
I think the biggest thing I feel that people, when they come to networking, the biggest mistake there is they come to get something.
Hmm.
And I think that was brought about by COVID. Kind of before COVID, we'd go to in-person events and we'd follow up naturally. You'd say, "Oh, hi, Summer, how you doing? What's new with the family? Vacation." We just naturally follow up.
Hmm.
And then when the world shut down, the weird thing is, the world opened up to us globally for networking, but we had to rely on these screens.
Hmm.
And suddenly people were in this, how am I going to get business? Like, how am I going to get business? Oh, I'm going to get it by going to Zoom meetings and going to get. And so, yes, we came and we do our pitch. And again, I don't like the word pitch because a pitch can just shut down. Like, I mean, that can just
Hmm.
close the door to conversation, but that's for another day. But the people just came to get, so they were sort of almost desperate.
Hmm.
And some people, yeah, they got it right. They did a bit of follow up afterwards. But now when we've gone back to in-person networking a lot of times, and again, Zoom networking,
Hmm.
we have to come at it listening for how can we help. We can't come to get. We have to come to help and ask people. Like that's what we need to be doing is saying, how can I help?
Hmm.
Listen for that. Even if I don't need what you have, you don't need what I have, but
Hmm.
who in our networks might need that service that somebody's talking about? And I think that's just so key. Is just really don't come with an agenda to get, other than say, I want to maybe talk to five new people if you're going to an event. That's a good goal. But don't come to like, I'm going to get all these business cards and I'm going to follow up. Just like it's icky. Just come. I was taught palm up networking. Come and see how you can help. Listen for how you can help. So I don't know if that's a long way around, but I think about the mistake is, yeah,
It's
nothing.
not the long way around at all. I tell some stories sometimes. People would be like, really? Do they do that? Somebody came into my Zoom room and looked around, eight people in the room. Ideal client, ideal client, ideal client. These are the three people I'm going to,
Mm.
sell to before the end of the meeting. But what you say makes a lot of sense, similar to what I teach. Build relationships first.
Yeah,
And
you've got to connect with somebody, have a
hmm,
conversation. And that's it's sort of a pet peeve I have and been changing my languaging around it is pitch
hmm,
because I experienced it this morning. I went to a networking meeting. I sat down next to a gentleman and he says, "Hi, my name is," and just verbally vomited onto me who
hmm.
he was. He'd been a mortgage broker for 23 years. Da, da, da. And I'm going, whoa, I didn't
Not a thing
ask
I'm going to
you.
remember.
I just said hi. It's just like, like, I mean, you need to, that's the other thing, be interested, not
Hmm,
interesting. It's not about you.
I
Just
love that.
really focus on the other person.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I mean, I just sort of went, whoa. And when I got up to introduce myself and said what I do, he says, "Oh, did you just create that for me?" Because I was talking about my intro lab and how to, sort out your introduction and things. And I said, well, it probably would help you.
If the hat fits, yes, you can wear it.
Yeah, because I mean, completely, because I mean, if I'm just sitting there, I don't need a mortgage.
Mm,
Why do I need to talk to you?
mm,
You know, like this when they pitch at you. But if you just sort of say, yeah, I've been doing business for 23 years in the financial services industry and, leave it
mm,
open. Let me say, oh, tell me
mm,
more. Be
mm,
curious.
mm.
Be
That
curious.
there's a huge difference between being present, being intentional. And
Yeah.
I also believe in being interested in the other people rather than be the most interesting person in the room who doesn't
Hmm.
care about anybody else.
Yeah.
So that's one mistake I hear we should totally avoid.
Yeah. And I think you can see it
Mm,
even in a Zoom room. If there's three or four of you in a breakout room, you can tell if somebody is distracted and, they're just waiting their turn. They're not
mm,
focusing on you. They're not listening to you and giving you the attention.
yeah.
But boy, when they come up to their turn to talk, like, I mean, it's like, I'm here. Come on, like, but you haven't given me the courtesy
Mm.
of being
Of listening to
present.
me.
Yeah, you've been so busy thinking about what am I going to say? What am I going to do? Have I got it right? So you haven't heard or listened to the other person. And you can see that when you're at an event or even in a Zoom room, you kind of go like, I'm talking to the wall here because they're
Mm,
so focused on, well, it's my turn next.
mm,
So
mm. Now,
yeah.
there's a whole group of people who don't even get that, who don't get so far as to build relationships or to be interested in the other people. They want to, but they feel awkward. They're not sure. And they feel like they're not good at networking. So, from how you teach, how can somebody start building meaningful conversations or connections if they feel awkward?
Mhm.
What's a simple way to approach it without forcing themselves to be uncomfortable?
Well, I think that's where not having to have a polished pitch as such.
Mm, mm,
Like if you just come at it as just, I'm introducing myself to somebody and take the pressure off yourself about having to get it right. Like as
mm,
long as you can mention your name and how they can get hold of you, that's good,
mm,
you know. But so I think it takes the pressure off when people says, well, what do you do? Like, well, I'm Fred and I do this, that, and the other.
mm,
And I just really like to help people get better results with my product X. Just
mm,
keep it simple.
mm,
And I think, but people think they have to use the jargon, and that's the worst thing you can do because if you use, or abbreviations,
mm.
because let's face it, if you say, I'm more, and I use LBTKHJ, blah, 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 and I'm sitting there going, what's that? So I've
Mm,
missed everything. But if
mm.
you say I use, interesting techniques to make magic happen with your website or something instead of
Yeah,
using
makes
all
it more
these
human.
big words. Because yeah, people think they're impressing people with these big words.
Mm,
And it's kind of like, no, you lost me and now I feel stupid. So I'm not going to ask the question
mm,
about your business
mm,
because I'm going to sound daft because I didn't know what that an acronym was or that jargon was or like so you kind of shut people down. So I think just keep it simple. Keep
correct.
it
Yeah.
simple. And
Mm,
something I tell, I say to people if they're going to a networking in-person meeting, okay, if it's brand new,
mm,
if you can find out who's going to be there, it's good to check out the guest list.
yes.
Just so you can say, oh, well, I want to meet Fred and Diana and Summer. Those are the people that I really want to meet.
Mm,
But if it's, you're going in completely cold turkey kind of thing, it's important to get there early
mm,
so you can breathe. You're not running in at the last minute after fighting traffic and trying to find a parking spot and all this stuff. So you relax when you go in and get in there a couple of minutes early and offer to help the host. Say, oh, is there something I can do to help you? Or could I check people in for you? That way you can see who's in the room and who,
mm,
once check-in is done, you've
mm,
already said, oh, hi, how are you? Great. I'll just take your name across you. So you know who they are and what they do. So
mm,
you've created your own sort of warm introduction saying, oh, it was great to meet you at the check-in desk there, tell me more. So
mm,
I just look for little strategies and don't stress about it. Just be yourself. Just,
mm.
you know,
So you have created several networking in-person events. Now I want to learn this from you. What's one way the host can do something where the attendees feel like welcomed back and comfortable while the meeting is happening.
When it comes to, well, I think it's part of the host's responsibility to make sure people feel comfortable. So I
Hmm.
think making introductions can take a lot of the stress off.
Pressure.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you've got a newbie and somebody who's been a couple of times and a brand new person, then take them and say, "Hey, Summer, I'd like you to meet Jane. This is her first time, so if you wouldn't mind just sharing with what we do here, that would be great. Like, have somebody else take some ownership and share their experience and get to know that person.
Hmm.
I think is valuable, and really just making sure, like I think as a host, you have to kind of keep people away from the walls. Like,
Ah, that's a good idea. Okay.
because some people, if they get insecure, will like back up and get out of the way. And I think it's your responsibility to sort of gather them all up and sort of, or have
Bring them
some
out of the corners.
yeah, or have some maybe group activity where you can have a strategic question that people have to answer.
Hmm.
And one thing you can do is as people come in, maybe have some like little um, wooden sticks and paint different colors on the bottom. And
Hmm.
then everybody gets to pull. I actually saw this used at a meeting I used to go to several years ago. And because the natural inclination at a networking meeting, especially if you're going for lunch or a lunch, then you'll find a table of people you know and you go sit with them.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
duh, that's completely
What is the point?
counterproductive.
Yeah.
So what they did to stop us doing that was when we checked in, we picked a dipstick out and oh, we're sitting at the red table. Oh, we're sitting at the green table. So then
Hmm.
you had, mix people up naturally. And I found that to be really good when, and especially for new people. So
Hmm.
they came to a table where there was some new, some old. It wasn't, because there's nothing worse than if you're the new person, especially in a new
Hmm.
area, and you
Hmm.
walk in and everybody's talking and they've got the little cliques going on. And
And they all know each other.
yeah,
Hmm.
so that you've got to look for ways to sort of break apart. It's just natural that we want to follow up and say, hey, how are things going with people we know.
Hmm.
But that's really not networking. That's going out for an organized lunch with a bunch of friends. That's called networking. But
Yeah.
so those are the kind of things you can do is look for ways to put people into different groups,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that kind of thing, or just make sure everybody moves every 2 minutes, like speed networking.
Yes.
You have to move. Like you've
Hmm.
got no option. You just got to keep on moving. So
That's a
I think,
brilliant idea. That gave me a wonderful idea for my next in-person event.
uh-oh.
I have restarted in-person events after COVID
Yeah,
died down. My previous ones were in 2017 and 18, and I
yeah,
thought I organized them well, but I could have done way better if I know the lessons, if I'd heard lessons that I learn now. So
yeah.
let's bring this down to one really powerful takeaway practically. For someone listening today, they want to shift how they approach networking starting like right now. What would you say would be one change that they could make that would totally transform their results and make networking work for them?
One thing.
The thing, if there's the magic one.
I don't think there's any magic answer. I think you have to find what works for you. I
Hmm.
mean, like really figure out whether you like in person, online, um, and then really, I think the big thing is the follow up.
Hmm.
Like, don't feel like you have to do it all in one networking meeting. That
Hmm.
meeting is just the start of the conversation. It's not the be all and end all.
Hmm.
That's where you start the relationship. Is somebody who said something that got you curious, and you say, "Hey, Summer, I really like what you have to say. I'd love to book a coffee
Hmm.
with you, a
Hmm.
one-on-one meeting, or even at a Zoom thing. Like,
Hmm.
you got your calendar there, and let's book something now so that we can do it. So just understanding that it's the start of something. This is not where your business is going to explode because you went to one networking meeting.
That's true. Yeah.
You
The
know,
one event that changed my life doesn't happen.
it's like being overnight success where you've been doing things for 10 years.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I think that's really important is just take the pressure off that all you're doing right now is just making a new friend and getting to know them. Just start. It's just the seed of an idea. It's just the seed of the relationship. And then just make a plan to
Hmm.
follow up and stay in touch and nurture and build that relationship. Not expecting anything to come from it, like not expecting to get anything, but just to get to make a new business friend, just expand that network.
Mm.
And, maybe they will refer somebody to you, maybe they won't. It doesn't matter. The
It doesn't
universe
matter.
will take care of it. If you're
Hmm.
kind and if you refer and you help others, it will come back to you. You will be known as one of those people who help others
Hmm.
instead of, somebody who comes to get something. We all know those people that you don't know. I think I'm just going to go over here because they're over there. Like
Hmm.
you just don't
Hmm.
want to speak to
Avoid
them.
the, yes, avoid
Yeah,
them as best as you can.
yeah, because you know that they're just going to verbally vomit all over you and just drill at you. But you want to, it's just about making a connection and having a conversation. That's all it is. It's just, and that's where you start and then nurture it.
And that's why I like you so much. You talk about making connections and not transactions.
Yes.
And you guys, my viewers, if you want to learn more about Sue and how to build a network that actually supports your growth, check out her links below. Sue, what's the best place people can get in touch with you?
Oh, well, probably the best place is LinkedIn. That's where I'm hanging out quite a bit. So, and it's really just my name on LinkedIn. Um, I do occasionally put an appearance on Facebook, but really LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where I am for business purposes.
Okay, folks, and this is where you're going to find Sue's website, LinkedIn, and Facebook right there in the description.
Yeah.
And right now, Sue is working on something amazing, and I'm looking forward to the publishing of this. Sue, you're writing a book and you're almost done with it. Tell us a little more. What can we expect? What is it going to be called?
What's been called empowered networking?
Nice.
I haven't finalized the subtitle yet with the publisher, but we'll get there.
Hmm.
Subject for discussion. But really, it's the book is sort of broken down into three segments. The first one is about really, we talk about the philosophy of networking and your introduction and that, and
Mm.
really figuring out what kind of networking is right for you in online, in-person, hybrid, etc. The middle part of the book, I've gone into social media platforms. I want
Nice.
people to understand you just need to be on one or two. You don't need to be on all, I don't know, 10, 12, or whatever is there is now. But how to use each one of those platforms, and because there are different ways of networking,
Mm.
so I talk about the different platforms and how to use them. And then the last part is really about managing an email nurturing sequence, and
That's
I go into
brilliant.
my sunflower strategy and the
Mm.
follow up, and it really just sort of wrapping up everything in the
Mm.
third section. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's a labor of love as much as a work of art, I
I
think.
am just as much excited as you. I'm looking forward to the book to get a copy in my hands.
Mhm.
Um, guys, let's wait and see what Sue has to say on networking. That's going to be a whole book. This is just a 20-minute segment on what she could teach us, but a book could teach you a lot more.
I
And
hope so.
of course it will. Knowing Sue, it's going to be a very powerful book. And
Thank
people
you.
need to read books on networking and listen to experts like you who have experienced this long term and have better lessons to teach than people that started last night. And you guys, if you enjoyed Teach Me Something conversations, make sure you like, subscribe, and send this to someone who's tired of awkward networking and ready to do it differently. Because the right relationships do more than just growing your business, they change the way you experience it. I'll see you in the next one. Sue, thank you so much for being here.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.